Greetings and welcome to the Cine Review Hub channel. I'm Liam, and just like every week, we're here with the latest movie news, from film premieres and red carpet events to what's happening in the world of celebrities. For our first piece of news, let's dive into the cinema trends and see what everyone's talking about. The first is a brief update with limited information about the film Odysseus, the latest from Christopher Nolan. Its teaser was finally released last week, though not officially. It was screened in theaters, and someone filmed it with their phone from the screen and shared it on social media. The difference between a teaser and a trailer is that a teaser provides less information, showing only general scenes, and many actors are not even featured. In this release teaser, we saw Tom Holland as the son of Odysseus, the famous Trojan horse was shown, and a few limited shots of Matt Damon as Odysseus were released. The movie is set to be released exactly 1 year from now. Many other actors are in it but weren't shown in the teaser, like Zendaya as Athena, the goddess of wisdom and war. More importantly, Charlize Theron plays one of the ancient Greek goddesses, symbolizing the seductive power of women. In mythological stories, this goddess can turn men into animals, and we'll have to see how Nolan portrays this in the film. Anne Hathaway, who previously collaborated with Nolan on Interstellar, plays Penelope, the wife of Odysseus. Nolan also had a bit of a controversy last week. James Cameron gave an interview and threw some shade at Nolan, saying he thought Oppenheimer was a moral escape. Cameron stated that he believes Nolan intentionally tried to exonerate Oppenheimer by consciously omitting the effects of the atomic explosion from the film to avoid showing this dark chapter of history. Cameron said this because he himself is known for his vivid historical depictions. For example, in the movie Avatar, he very clearly shows the massacre of Native Americans by white people in the United States. Another movie at the top of the news is F1, or Formula One, which was released a week ago. In its first 7 days, it grossed $161 million, making it the biggest opening for an original film in the last 3 decades. The film's budget was $200 million, but Apple has managed to generate some very smart revenue from it. For instance, they created a fictional team in the movie and found sponsors for it, earning $40 million. Additionally, a travel company called Expensify paid Apple an 8-figure sum to have their company's advertisements featured in the film. This means nearly $60 million of the film's budget was covered by these sponsorships. Because of this, Apple renewed the film for a second part less than 7 days after its release. The director of this film, who also directed Top Gun: Maverick, said he would bring Tom Cruise back for the second part. It's unclear if Cruise will reprise his role as Captain Maverick or appear as a new character, since the director had previously mentioned wanting a crossover between F1 and Top Gun. Another film making headlines is Emma Stone's new movie, Eddington, due to its star-studded cast. The film held its red carpet event in Los Angeles, and photos of Emma Stone went viral because it speculated that she's had new plastic surgery, seemingly the same procedure Lindsay Lohan had recently, which pulls the skin on the face. Her eyes have changed slightly, causing a lot of discussion on social media. Many people were upset that Emma Stone, who's only 36, is altering her face, while others approved, saying she looks beautiful. Another film currently on the red carpet is Jurassic Park: Rebirth, which had a test screening for critics last week and received poor scores. It got a 53 on Rotten Tomatoes and a 52 on Metacritic. Critics said the story was very repetitive and cliché. However, the film was very successful upon release. With a budget of $225 million, it grossed $260 million in its first week. The film specifically targeted the Chinese market. Just a couple of days ago, Scarlett Johansson was at the film's red carpet event in Shanghai, China, which also created a stir. Photographers were able to capture a picture of her for the first time, where she's pinching her co-star's cheek, and his joy is clearly visible on his face. The red carpet event for the new Superman, directed by James Gunn, also took place. They tried to artificially go viral on social media by releasing behind-the-scenes pictures of the red carpet where Superman is seen helping his co-star. The Superman film has its own controversy. Zack Snyder's fans issued a statement on Twitter and Facebook saying they would boycott the film. They also said they would attack all rating sites and give it a score of 1. Their reason is that they believe the 3 original Superman actors, Gal Gadot, Amy Adams, and Henry Cavill, should return to the franchise. In a new interview, James Gunn said that because of these Zack Snyder fans, they removed the scene of Superman flying from the front. This image was in the trailer, but they received so much backlash on social media that the main company removed it from the final cut of the film. James Gunn did something else interesting last week. A man with stomach cancer had posted on social media that he had to have surgery on the day the movie was released. James Gunn invited the man to his private cinema and screened the film for him a week early so he could see Superman before going into surgery. James Gunn also announced some other important news for fans of the DC superhero universe. After 3 years, the script for the second part of The Batman has finally been completed. Matt Reeves posted a black and white photo of himself to officially announce the script's completion. However, filming will start a year late because Robert Pattinson, the actor playing Batman, will be in the film Dune for the next year. After that, he will return to his role as Batman, and the film is set to be released in cinemas 2 years from now, in 2027. In the same interview, James Gunn made another statement that put him in the headlines, saying that Adria Arjona could be a very good Wonder Woman. Since James Gunn is the one who will be choosing the next Wonder Woman, many people are speculating that this actress will likely be the next one. This is a significant piece of news, regardless of whether you're a fan of the superhero universe or not, because whoever plays this role, just like Gal Gadot, will become one of Hollywood's stars and will be seen in many other films. Another currently trending film is the live-action Lilo and Stitch, with a short news update from last week stating that after about a month of release, its sales exceeded $1 billion. This live-action film had a budget of $100 million and has achieved very good profitability. Due to this, Disney has also ordered the production of a second part. Disney made a lot of profit here, but it also suffered a huge loss last week, which was another controversy. This was for the animation Elio, the latest production from Pixar, a subsidiary of Disney. The animation became a huge commercial failure, grossing only $70 million on a $200 million budget. Experts speculate that this is because the film's story is disjointed, and after it was fully made, they had to censor parts of the story because the main character was originally supposed to be introduced as a gay boy. When Disney held a private screening for a limited audience, after the screening ended, the executives asked the viewers who would be willing to buy a ticket to see the film in theaters, and not a single person raised their hand. Because of this, Disney ordered the immediate censorship of the subject and to make the character Elio more masculine on screen and subtly hint that he is gay. People who saw it in cinemas say that Elio has a picture of the boy he has a crush on from his school on every wall of his room. Apparently, due to these cuts and the jumbled story, the film failed at the box office. Another famous name that was trending last week wasn't a film but a TV series, Squid Game. It had 60 million viewers in its first 3 days, breaking all records. For the first time in streaming history, it became #1 in all the countries where it was broadcast. No other series has ever achieved such a position. Netflix also provided more information about the American version, saying the series will be called Squid Game America. Filming will start in December 2025, and Cate Blanchett will have a short role in it. The filming will be in Los Angeles, which means they will likely pay millions more in taxes. The American version is expected to be released in late 2026. The creator of the original Korean Squid Game also had a controversial interview last week, saying that the villain, Frontman, was inspired by people like Elon Musk. The director said that people who are called tech moguls use their money to influence everything, even power. He said that in the past, these people wore masks like his character, but now they have truly taken off their masks and are forcing their will on the world with their real faces, which is why he put this character in his story. For our next news segment, let's look at a new list that the New York Times published last week. The publication gathered 500 actors, directors, and famous figures and surveyed them to come up with a list of the top 100 films of the 21st century, meaning all films released since the year 2000. The top 5 are Parasite at number 1, Mulholland Drive at number 2, There Will Be Blood at number 3, In the Mood for Love, and Moonlight taking the 4th and 5th spots. The predominant genre on this list is drama and comedy drama, with 60 of the films falling into this category, just like Parasite. Only 4 directors have more than one film on the list: Christopher Nolan, Wes Anderson, Bong Joon-ho, and Paul Thomas Anderson. 4 animations are also included, with Hayao Miyazaki's Spirited Away being the highest ranked. The newest film on the list is Oppenheimer, which was released in 2023. For the next news, let's turn to Amazon, which had 2 important news items last week. The first, which was very important and controversial, was the revelation that Amazon has taken all the authority from Denis Villeneuve for the James Bond film series. They have signed a completely one-sided contract with him, where all the terms favor Amazon, and the director has no rights over his film. Not only is the editing not up to the director, but the casting is also not his decision. He can't even comment on the story, and Amazon will determine what the film will be like. Villeneuve has only signed a contract to direct the film, which means he's essentially been hired by Amazon. Later, Variety published another controversial piece of news, stating that Amazon is apparently looking for a 30-year-old actor for James Bond, moving away from the classic 40-year-old masculine character. The 3 main options for the company are Tom Holland, Jacob Elordi, and Harris Dickinson. On the same day, a British publication spread another rumor, saying that Timothée Chalamet is also a potential James Bond candidate. Given that Timothée Chalamet was in Villeneuve's last film, people are saying it's not far-fetched for Amazon to choose this actor as the next James Bond. This news was not well received on social media at all. Many people said they would prefer a middle-aged man to play the role, just like in the classic versions. Another news item from Amazon last week was related to the popular series The Boys. Filming for the 5th and final season has officially finished. The series is planned to be released exactly 1 year from now in the summer of 2026. The creator of the series has said not to even try to guess the ending because everyone will be killed in the story. Erin Moriarty, the actress who plays Starlight in the series, released an emotional statement and said goodbye to all the actors and fans of The Boys. In her statement, she told all the actors of The Boys, "I love you, you motherfuckers." The next news is about new films and series that are coming. The first is very controversial, the series The Last of Us, which shocked fans last week. HBO officially announced that Neil Druckmann, the creator of the game The Last of Us, has separated from the series adaptation and will no longer have any role in its continuation. He won't even be writing the script for the 3rd season. Druckmann himself issued a statement saying he is leaving the continuation of the story to his colleague because he is one of the studio managers who created The Last of Us, and he is currently focusing on a new game. This is why he no longer wants to spend his time on The Last of Us. He said that the 2 seasons he created were the peak of his career. From now on, Craig Mazin will be doing everything for the series. Druckmann said he is sure he has handed it over to the right person. However, on social media, many people criticized this move, saying that since the 2nd season had a drop in quality, this decline will likely continue in the 3rd season. Another news item about new films and series relates to the famous Fast and Furious franchise. Vin Diesel said in a new interview that he has talked to Universal and the character of Brian, played by Paul Walker, will return to the story. He also added that they will be returning to the earlier versions of the film, getting much closer to reality. They will have car races instead of fictional car action, like someone driving a car to space. Paul Walker, of course, passed away in a car accident more than 10 years ago. At the time of the accident, they had filmed half of one of the Fast and Furious films, so Paul Walker's brother came in to play the rest of the role, and with special effects, they manipulated the frames to add Paul Walker's face. They will be doing the exact same thing for the new film, and Paul Walker's brother will be playing the role. Another news item about new films and series relates to the popular series The Bear, which just had its 4th season released a week ago. Hulu has renewed it for a 5th season. Just 6 months ago, they were saying that the 4th season would be the last, but since it had 5.5 million viewers in its first week, they immediately renewed it for a new season. Many people on social media speculate that this series will meet the same fate as the series Shameless, where they will just keep making seasons endlessly. Read aloud in a warm and friendly tone. For the next news, let's turn to the celebrities. Last week, Jeff Bezos' wedding was at the top of the celebrity news. Why was it so talked about? Because the wedding cost $50 million, and he invited so many celebrities. The event was so over the top that it became a source of public hatred on social media. They were initially going to have the wedding in Venice, but after so much protest, they moved it to a private island. Then they brought all the guests, several hundred celebrities, to the island on very expensive luxury yachts. The celebrities attended the event because they were each given a gift bag worth $55,000. Sydney Sweeney was one of the special guests and even attended Bezos' private party, which was a birthday celebration for his son on his multi-million-dollar yacht. The birthday party was a foam party, and people were saying the party was held for Sydney Sweeney. There were many controversies too. For example, Leonardo DiCaprio attended the event and tried very hard to hide his face. Why? Because DiCaprio has been an environmentalist for many years and was very critical of Jeff Bezos and Amazon for destroying the environment. Now, he went against all of his words and attended the party on a private jet, which is very polluting. People said that DiCaprio's words about the environment are just an act, and he'll do anything for money. Orlando Bloom, who had just separated from his wife Katy Perry a few weeks ago, was having a great time at the wedding and creating a lot of controversies. For instance, he was seen behind a car with a few girls having his own boat party. The next day, he went out with Sydney Sweeney. The Kardashians were naturally also invited. Then, out of the blue, Charlize Theron gave a controversial interview. Since she wasn't invited to the party, she reacted by saying that celebrities like her who weren't invited are much better people than those who were. She said that those who were invited to the event were disgusting people. Many people on social media said that Theron was just jealous, and she would have never said those things if she had been invited. Another piece of celebrity news relates to the Academy Awards and Tom Cruise. After 44 years of acting, the Academy will finally give him an honorary Oscar. The interesting thing is that Tom Cruise has never won an Oscar. But the Academy is going to do something a little disappointing. They won't give him the award at the main Oscar ceremony. Instead, they will present it to him at an annual event called the Governor's Awards, which is hosted by the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. The next celebrity news is about a breakup. For a few weeks now, a Hollywood couple has been breaking up every week. Last week, Marion Cotillard, who was 49, and her boyfriend, who was 52, broke up after 18 years together. The two had been in a relationship since 2007. Another celebrity news item is about Donald Trump, who managed to get $16 million from Paramount. Last year, an interview with Kamala Harris was broadcast on the program 60 Minutes, which is a Paramount subsidiary. Trump claimed that the way the news was edited was deceptive to the audience, portrayed Donald Trump negatively, and concealed certain facts. Trump claimed that what Paramount did caused him emotional distress and that the company did this to influence the 2024 elections. However, it didn't escalate to a serious lawsuit because Donald Trump is now the President of the United States. So, Paramount reached an agreement with Trump to pay him $16 million. Another celebrity news item again relates to J.K. Rowling and Pedro Pascal. Rowling gave an interview last week, saying that she has no role in writing the script for the Harry Potter series and does not interfere. However, she has a contract that gives her complete supervision over the final script. The contract states that the script must be submitted to her and she will carefully read it. Every single word must be approved by her, meaning the series will ultimately be made based on Rowling's final opinion. Rowling said she has read the scripts for the first 2 episodes and is completely satisfied with the result. She said she gives these 2 episodes an excellent score. After this interview, Pedro Pascal gave another interview against Rowling. He attacked her again, saying he wants to protect his friends and his sister, who is a trans person. He said that he is disgusted by people who bully, calling people like J.K. Rowling losers. Now for the last piece of news, the truly toxic stuff. Brad Pitt gave an interview for the promotion of the film F1 on a very popular podcast. In the podcast, they asked him, "You're 61 now, you've lived a full life. What opportunity do you regret missing in your life?" You know Brad Pitt, he's almost old enough to be the grandfather of some of the podcast's audience. He hasn't been successful in his married life, and some of his children have even changed their last names. So many listeners were expecting him to say, for example, "I missed the opportunity to raise my children," or "I missed the opportunity to have a family." But not only did he not say any of that, he turned around and said, "I've never had the chance to have a gay relationship in my life," which is what he regrets. The interesting thing is that when he was saying this, the host got very excited and said, okay, what happens next?" He replied, "Well, if I ever wanted to have that opportunity, I would never choose 2 people." The second toxic news item relates to Snoop Dogg, who holds the record in this segment. You've probably heard on social media that Pavel Durov, the owner of Telegram, has 100 children. This news apparently just reached Snoop Dogg, and his mind was blown. He came out and said, "I heard you have 100 children. Bro, you're not having kids, you're just giving birth to puppies like a dog." He even added a hashtag for him. Pavel Durov saw this comment and replied. His response was, "Only a dog can recognize another dog, since Snoop Dogg has dog in his name." Then he said, "I can even teach you a few dog techniques, but I'll teach you my techniques on Telegram. Come talk to me on Telegram." Well, friends, that's it for this week's video. I hope you found it interesting. If you liked this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. Until next week's video, goodbye.